Well, hello, Facebook friends and fans. My name is Chris Jordan, host for iButterfly Effects, and this is episode number 3 as we check along here. Um, discovering the 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 way that people discover their purpose in life. And tonight actually, I have the distinct pleasure of welcoming Mr. Redray Frazier, who is an outstanding vocalist, uh, a member of a few bands, a couple, and maybe all of them, you'll know, depending on who's watching this. We'll let him get into that later on. But he's also my family. This is my cousin, and I was fortunate enough to spend some time in the light with him, singing and creating and just doing things that back in in that moment in time was my purpose. Uh, so, Redray,
Yes, sir. Yes,
my
cousin.
man, welcome and thank you very much for being on the show.
Oh, it's my pleasure, man. And we purposed in that time together, brother. You know.
Yeah, we did, man. We did. And I'm happy to see y'all need to understand that this man has continued on with the music. I still love music, and music touches me deeply. It will always touch me deeply. That's the thing that music does. And it does that for everyone, whether you sing or not. Music does touch. There's a song for everyone. Um, there's a music for everyone, rhythm for everyone. And but Ray has kept up. Him and his brother both, but he now is on a journey in which he is about to bring out a new album. Uh, we will get into that a little bit more. Um, but the first question I want to ask Ray, because there's going to be two, we always ask two. And the first of those two is, how did you know that singing, being a singer, songwriter, and performer was your call? How did you come to find that out?
Well, I wasn't sure of that until I moved out here to Portland. Um, I'd always enjoyed making music and playing music, but it wasn't until I was at a crossroads of figuring out what it was exactly I wanted to do in this life, and I tried to get away from music, and and straight up, it didn't work. Um, I realized in a very short period of time that I needed to be writing, uh, performing, um, and and really expressing what it was that was going on in my life. I mean, that was my outlet. So when you take that away, uh, what does it leave you with? You're a shell of yourself, really.
Hmm.
Um, so I'd always known that I loved uh, making music, but it really wasn't until I left my comfort zone um, in about 2002, um, and was forced. My hand was forced. Figure it out, Ray. You know, and that's what I did. Um, I realized that this is something that I absolutely had to do. I'm a lifer in this. It's funny when you hear about retirement. People, older people retiring. Well,
No.
I will never retire because I love what I do.
Amen.
Yeah, yeah. This is
Amen.
absolutely my calling. You know.
And you know, your brother, cousin Paul, he has he's got the bug in him too.
Yes, yes, he does.
And I know that you came up with music around you, right? Right? Because there's
Yes,
a
yes, sir.
church involved in this
Yes,
family,
sir. Yes, sir.
right? A wonderful church called,
Mount Ararat Baptist Church. Uh-huh.
yeah, yo.
Yes, sir.
We
Amen.
spent
Amen.
a lot of time in that basement
Yes,
preparing for
yes, we
what
did.
became the Funky Poets, man.
That's
And
right.
but that's the thing, man. It's like the practices that went on there till wee hours in the morning.
Yeah.
That's kind of like, but you had that all your life. See, I wasn't there every Sunday.
Well,
I know you came up, and I know, I mean,
well,
but that's
yeah.
it's very powerful. It's like, tell me about how that affected you, and see that had to have had its place, even whether you knew it or not.
Well, you had to feel it. You had to feel it. What Chris is referring to is that his uncle, my father, is a Baptist minister and pastors at this church. He still does, Mount Arab Baptist Church, and the uh, uh, the Christian business is a faith business, and I use the term business very loosely. Um, he is a very spiritual, beautiful man, and that is absolutely his calling. So not only did we grow up with beautiful gospel music um, and a great congregation, a church family, but we also knew what it was like to be driven by what you believe in.
Yeah.
And those late night rehearsals that we had, because I mean that was just because we were doing our thing, and we had the legs to do it, right? I mean we
Yeah.
had. This is what you can't put a time limit on that stuff.
Yeah.
Once you get started, you just go till you finish, right?
That's the truth, boy. It's the truth. And we
Yeah,
did.
yeah,
And we did. I remember coming home. I would leave work at 10 o'clock at night and take a bus out there to
yep,
Jersey. Uh,
yep,
and we end up in that basement there losing our minds. It was good times, man. Like, and then when the payoff came, it was even like, you know, it was really good. But
yeah,
I am so happy to know that you stayed on in the way that you have, because you could tell when you sang and said certain things, and when you hear you talk about music or about your craft, there's a sincerity. You're a sincere person to begin with, but there's something extra magical that happens with you when you start talking about this thing. You know what I mean?
yes. Well, it's a lie never has a leg to stand on. You have to speak the truth. You have to speak, you know, um, with honesty, and and that's what I do with my music. And that's I think that's what single-handedly um, brings brings the people in, draws the people in to what I'm doing. If I'm making an observation, and it's because they know, they can hear it, they can see it. There's no pretense in the delivery. Um, I'm I'm coming directly from my heart out to you,
Yeah.
and it's uh, one of the things that I guess really comes through in this new record as well, um, is that um, it's it kind of feels like it's someone who's looking in the mirror.
Hmm.
Um, I had the privilege of working with David Byrne for a couple years, touring with him, and as I was recording these songs, I asked. By the way, for those of you who do not know, and I know some people don't, David Byrne was the lead singer and front man of the Talking Heads. He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of
Yes,
Fame.
sir.
Yeah. So I asked David if he would just kind of listen to some of the songs and and just put his ear on them. I'd been hearing them back. You know how it is in the studio. You hear your songs over and over again. Then after a while, you're not sure really what you're listening to.
Right. You need a third
um,
ear.
yeah, you absolutely do. But when he came back to me, I sent him songs. I just asked him if he would put his ears on them and give me some thoughts as to what he was hearing, what he was feeling. And the beauty of it is, He didn't get back to me right away. It took him a few days, and finally, when he did, he was like, you know, Ray, I've been enjoying these songs for a few days already, and I hear a little, I hear a little Curtis Mayfield, I hear a little Bill Withers, a little bit of Texas two-step as well,
Mm.
and as I'm, you know, reading this, I'm I'm getting chills because you know those, even though you never really set out to sound like anyone in particular,
Right.
your influences always come through. Um,
Yeah.
and I spent a lot of time listening to Curtis Mayfield and Bill Withers, and the influence of my father came through because it's the spirit of it.
Yeah.
And um, uh, and I thought that was really interesting. But he also said that it had a very current feel to it,
Yeah.
and and that's, I guess when you're writing new music, you don't want to be, you know, necessarily a retro artist. You kind of want to be yourself.
Yeah.
And he also said that he tried to imagine who would write these songs, but knowing that it's me. And he said he pictured someone who had been through a real struggle. Um, he's been through the fire, but but
Yeah,
came
buddy.
but came out a survivor,
Yeah.
um, a daredevil man, if you will.
Right.
And Daredevil Man is one of the titles of one of the songs. So, um, uh, and he hit the nail right on the head. Um, there've been struggles, there's been uh, uh, trials for sure, but um, you know, you get through it, you know, and that's what I did through these songs. So, in a sense, music has saved me, you know.
Yeah. And that I mean
Yeah,
that really is what it is, right? I mean, when you find your purpose, it saves you.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, that's the
dig it.
bottom line.
Yeah.
Uh, but let's talk about the record a little bit more. And what is this record? What what do you feel? What do you want people to take away, or what do you think is the overall message? David has said his thing. You kind of agreed with it. But what are you hoping for people to take away from this album?
They, you can be down, and you can be almost out, um, but um, but you can't give up. You know,
Mm,
um,
powerful.
yeah, we're always going to be dealt a struggle,
Yeah.
um, but you keep on. You look at yourself in the mirror, and you just do your thing. You just be you. Um, and I think that's what people are going to get from it. People are going to get a sense of empowerment from it. It's not preachy by any means. It's just a guy, singing his
Sharing the
diary.
story.
You know, just a dude singing his diary, basically.
Yeah, man. Sharing your
Yeah,
story. That's,
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, you know, the thing of it, Ray, is, you know, I, now listen, y'all, the man's name is Red Ray. You will hear me refer to him as Ray here and there because it's a family, but
Yes,
it is
yes.
Red Ray when you go out there to grab this album, and you will grab the album, you understand? Because you're gonna love it. I guarantee. Wait till you don't even. You must be able to feel his spirit right now. I ain't talking to you, Ray. I'm talking to all these other people looking at this stuff. You know what I mean? You must be able to feel the type of spirit that Ray is. Yes, Red Ray is a great person. He's got a good heart, always has, and I think that you're gonna feel that in his music. That is 100%. I guarantee it. Um, I want to know, how do you feel since being in this game, not necessarily where you are right now, but from where you were when you started out on this musical journey to where you are now? How do you feel um, your purpose has touched others? I mean, is there what has there been a story that sticks out in your mind that of someone being directly affected by what you do, whether from the past or right now, on the recent times of your gig? How do you feel your purpose is affecting people?
Well, I think the biggest way, anyone who's known me over the years, um, they see an evolution, and um, uh, and it's they I think that they can see that it's never too late to grow.
Mm.
Um, it's never too late to try different things, um, and they also see a steadfastness. Um, uh, you know, the music business, any business really, if there's what people call a success, most people think it's an overnight thing. Well, we know this. We already know the answer to this, right, Chris? I mean, it is
Yeah.
not. If they could just see the hours that are spent just to display a snippet of what it is you do, they'd understand a little bit better that there's nothing overnight about it.
Right.
But Paul, Chris, and I use Paul and Gene, excuse me. I use all of you guys because we were grinding together. You all know what it takes to make a show happen,
Yeah.
and um,
And doing it by
uh,
yourself must be twice as hard.
well, you know what?
Or maybe you learned enough that it isn't as hard. But
it is hard, but there are other obstacles
right.
when you're doing it by yourself. When you're used to having a band with you. Um, when we were together, everyone had a different role, and we could all do different things to make it whole. When I first got here and started doing music and just playing it, I was on the stage by myself, just me and an acoustic guitar, and um, I think that intimacy, especially coming from where we had been, and then with Mosaic in between that and where I am now, um, uh, the importance of dynamic was never so present as it had to be uh, when I started doing live solo performances. So
Yeah.
um, uh, talk about being scared, guys. Let me tell you, man, the first time I played my my first solo show, I
Yeah.
mean, I played a guitar for long enough to know that I can write songs and play it and not be scared. But it's different when you're on the stage by yourself and there's nothing else, your voice and that acoustic guitar.
Yeah, buddy. I bet. Because I know I was a
Yeah,
ball of nerves and I had the three of y'all next to me and I know I wasn't singing every lick of the song.
yeah,
Still was
yeah,
nervous.
yeah, yeah. Now, it's my main tool, and it's gotten a lot easier. I look forward to it every time, but I perform primarily with the full band these days, and do the solo acoustic things just for flavor.
Right.
But um, I, still, people walk away knowing that they've seen something really honest, and I think the biggest thing that people get from this
It's a good
is that
word, honest. I like
it,
it.
it- you know
Yeah.
it goes a long way.
Yeah.
It goes a long way, and uh, when when people walk away from a performance, they know that they've witnessed the truth, um, and
Amen, bro.
they whether it doesn't matter if they've seen us in a club of a capacity of 30 people
Right.
or 1,000 people. There's no room too big or too small. I'm going to be honest every time, and that's what people get from that. It's a sense of trust. So
See, and that's the biggest thing. This is what we're talking about, right? Look, iButterfly effect is here. We asked the two simple questions, by the way, you just answered the second. How do you feel your purpose affects everyone else? Um, Look, people need to hear, that things like like you just talked about perseverance, about weathering the storm, you know, uh, just never giving up and continuing on and finding the will to do that. These are all the things that you were talking about, and honesty. I mean, people don't understand. It takes a long time for some people to find themselves, and like you said, you look in the mirror. It's like looking. This is what this album is kind of like a reflection of who you are from where you've been and to where you're at, and really coming to terms with that person. Because once you do that, then you write from a place that is truly honest. And that's what people need. There's a lot of records being made out here, and I'm not saying this because he's my family. I'm saying this at the end of the day because it is what it is. It's the truth. There's a lot of records out there that are doing things that absolutely, in my opinion, don't make sense. I may sound like my father. I remember when I was coming up, my father was like, I ain't listening to that junk. That's junk. You listen to that stuff, man. That ain't no music. What is that? And I find myself sitting right here in my father's shoes saying, the truth is that there is a lot of music out there that I don't get it. And people are getting record deals for it, right? But
there's got to be balance, though. There's
yeah,
got to be
I
balance.
guess they got to be balanced, and I don't mean to hate no player in the game. But I'm
Right.
here to say I remember what we talked about when we were out there, what we attempted to do, and I remember what else
Yeah.
everybody else was doing out there. And I remember the fans that used to come up and say, man, y'all are a breath of fresh air. Well, you're a breath of
Yeah.
fresh air. What you're doing is
Yeah.
a breath of fresh air. And all of you out there need to really, really go ahead and hold on. Before we even get to going and getting on to the album thing, Ray is doing, and we need to get this in, Ray.
All right.
Redray Frazier is doing an Indiegogo raise. Okay, his goal is 20K. That is his goal because he's been paying for all of the stuff that he's doing to this point out of his own pocket. None of y'all, unless you've been in the struggle, you don't understand what that means. Mastering and getting a CD cover and looking pretty and getting somebody to look at with the makeup on you and getting all of the artwork done and doing a video. You know what I mean? These days, thank God, you ain't got to be having 100,000 or 200 or 300,000 or 500,000 like Michael used to do back in the days.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
do a
Yeah.
video, it can be done for a lot less. And Ray's quest is to complete this mission. And let me tell you something. He's only a few $1,000s off. So y'all need to go out there and support this brother because he is for real, and you're gonna love his album. Help somebody who's doing things that are honest. Help them to get to the next level, please. Yeah, Ray. So I just wanted to. I'm asking all of y'all to go ahead and put your money where my mouth is. So I'm putting my money where my mouth is, and I'm going ahead and I'm going to contribute today. I'm putting this up today, and today when you go, you look for Christopher Jordan, you will see that I will be putting in my cents in the matter.
Yes, sir. That's what's up.
Yes,
Oh
you know what
man,
I
that's
mean?
cool. Yeah.
We need to be supporting each other, whether you family or not.
Dig it. Dig it.
Please, we got to do it, especially for some real people. Okay,
Yeah, that's
Ray,
what's up.
tell
Yeah.
them the name of the album from Redray Frazier.
All right. The name of the album is called Blood in the Water.
Woo!
Yes, yes,
Boy, let
yes.
me tell you something. Yeah, I love that title, son. I was trying to tell you when I read it across there, I was like, wow.
Yeah. Listen, cuz I can't wait for you to hear that track too. It's
Oh
heavy.
man.
It's heavy, man. it's got a little bit of a throwback feel to it, but man, oh man, I mean, look, I have uh, let's see, I have a lead guitarist in the band. I play rhythm, sing lead.
Yeah.
I have a keyboardist, uh, drummer, naturally, a bassist, and a DJ, and these guys get it, man. Um, the sounds that they come out with, everyone is their own producer, basically.
Yeah.
They're a master of their craft, and um, this song, man, it just sounds so raw, and it's got such a groove to it, and I want everyone to get from it what they will, so I won't preach on it, but it's um, it's a heavy track, man. We're going to be shooting the video for that first.
Yeah, man. Listen, you shoot a video for anything, it's gonna be good. But I'm dying to see. I'm dying. I'm dying to hear that particular track. I love the title was smoking. I love
Yes, you
that
can go to
title.
Indiegogo.com and look for Redray Frazier. That'll certainly get you there. But the short URL is http colon // igg.me / the word at / Redray Frazier. That's a lot to remember, so you may have to show it
Challenge
to
you.
him, Chris.
Listen, I'm gonna put it up on the bottom of the screen for these people to check it out.
All right, see?
Yeah, 100%. No, I know how
Yes,
that
sir.
works. I got to get my
Yes.
little edited in too. Yeah, yeah. People, this is Red Ray Frazier. Blood in the Water is coming to you soon. All right, Ray,
Yes,
thank you
sir.
very much. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you taking the time to come out and support iButterfly Effect and to give me the honor and privilege of being part of your journey this
Oh,
time around.
cuz. Thank you, Chris. Thank you for having me on IBE. Man, I love what you're doing. I love
Thank
what
you,
you're
brother.
doing, cuz. Yeah, yeah. Stay with this brother, people. Stay with him.
You heard the band. Stay with
Yes,
me.
sir.
Stay with me.
Yes.
We're going
Yes.
places. Yeah, man.
Yes. Oh, and
Go
one
ahead.
more thing.
Yeah.
Make sure when you get to Indiegogo, watch the video on it because
Oh,
you might even
yeah.
you'll see a young Chris in there too.
Oh, man. Hey, listen, the brother had hair back then. I know y'all know already. There's no more. But however, yes, you see a little hair on the brother's head. Yeah, y'all watch that video, man. Watch the video. It's quite entertaining. And really nice work, right? I
Oh,
don't know.
thank you.
Yeah.
My boy Joe Luke, he shot and directed the video
Well,
for that.
Joe,
So
Luke, great
yeah,
work,
Joe Luke.
sir.
Yeah,
You brought out, well, the way that he cut it and so on like this, it really captures who you are.
yeah,
It
yeah.
was kind of cool. I really like that. And listen, if you feel like editing, Joe, Luke, uh, if you feel like editing something else, I'm gonna send this over to you here in the next 5-10 minutes. I'll get the address for Ray when I'm done. You go ahead and edit this too, the rest of it.
There you
I'm
go.
just kidding. I'm just kidding. I got things I gotta do. But Ray, hey man, I love you, man. I
Yeah, I love
really
you too,
do,
cuz.
brother.
Thank you, man.
You know what I mean? And I look, I ain't gonna tell y'all this again. When this record come out, don't front. Get your behind to wherever he's selling it at, whether it's in a record store, online, or whatever, and I'm sure all the information will be there for you.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
buy that joker.
Yes,
You're
sir.
gonna love it. Red Ray
We
Frazier,
can't.
y'all.
That's right. We can't do it without you.
Yes, indeed. You cannot. Yeah. Good on you, Ray, man. Thanks so much, man.
Oh, cuz, thank you, man. Thank you.
This is good. This is a good interview. It's a
That was
good
fun,
interview.
man. It's easy when it's people that when you trust the people that's going back and forth with.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. And with that, I'm going to just stop the clock and tell y'all again, Red Ray Frazier, Blood in the Water. I'm out.